And a good spiritual morning to you once again. I'm Father Cosmas. Thanks for joining me today for a quick chat and, of course, our morning cup of coffee. And for today, I want to talk about a new Apple product that came out recently. The new release that they had, I think it was last week or whenever it was, of their event that they do, where they showed their new products. And of course, all of the talk was about Apple Vision Pro. So if you didn't see this, this is basically a virtual reality computer system, right? Or multimedia interactive system. It's basically something that you just wear like a mask, and it has the sound and the sights built into it. But not quite just virtual reality, it's interactive virtual reality. So you can see your environment, and then it lays your applications and the digital media over and within your environment, and you can adjust it. And you can see people interacting with it. You can watch movies. You can do any work you want to do on your computer. It follows and tracks your eyes. So as you look at something different, it highlights it. You can, with a simple movement of your hand or a gesture, or of course with your voice, you can control everything. And so it's this huge leap forward in multimedia interaction. Basically, they're seeing this as the next phase of, how we do FaceTime, how we do computing, how we surf online, the internet, interact with the internet, how we post things, how we take video, how we look at pictures, how we watch movies or shows. I mean, it creates a whole virtual environment. And obviously a huge leap forward in technology. But this is the first generation of it. And it's not cheap. It's $3,500 for this Apple Vision Pro. And so I wanted to comment on it and sort of say, what do I feel about it? And so two things. Obviously, number one, it's this amazing leap in technology that, like any other aspect of technology, as long as it's not abused, can be very beneficial. Of course, it can be very helpful. Within its proper proportion and proper place, it can be amazingly helpful. I'm sure there's applications where it's going to be amazingly helpful for people. But like any other aspect of technology, if it is distorted or misused, then you have horrible consequences. And my fear with something like this is that we already have so much isolation, right? So now you have the ability to interact with people without really interacting with people, even more so. And you have the ability of creating a virtual environment, a virtual world, basically. You're in your world, but you can transform that world into anything that you want. And so you start by just looking and you see let's say your living room or your office that you're sitting in. And if you want to, all of a sudden now you can be sitting at a lake or at the beach. And if you want to, you can then make it dark and you can watch a movie on a 100-foot screen. You can be on an airplane and do the same thing. Put your AirPods in and all of a sudden you're in a movie theater, even though you're sitting on a little seat on an airplane. You can change your environment and you can interact with your environment in different ways, but you can also isolate yourself from reality. And I think that's the danger. So I'm not giving a sort of sweeping condemnation of this thing. I do think it's obviously overpriced. But what I will say is the danger is in dissociating ourselves even more so from reality. You have a lot of people out there that aren't really happy in their real world or in their real life. And they're going to use this as an opportunity to retreat even more from their real world and their real life. And we have to be careful of that. Like I said, with anything, just to make sure that it's being used in good proportion, in proper proportion, not overused and not abused, and to make sure that we're using it correctly. It should be used to increase productivity and to be used to increase, a level of fun that you can have. It would be fun to be able to sit down and watch a movie on any size screen that you'd like to see it on, wherever you are. That's fun, but you shouldn't be watching 8 hours of movies a day. You should be interacting with people, and that's great, but you also want to actually leave your room and leave your house and interact with real people live and in person, not just seeing them virtually on a screen. So I think we have to be very, very careful about creating a virtual reality and insulating ourselves from real life. It has its proper place, but we have to make sure we're being careful I can't even imagine the other ways that you can distort the usage of it. I don't even want to say. We know what's happening on the internet. Now take all of that and put it into a virtual reality 3D world. The dangers are almost limitless. And so we have to be careful of that and make sure that whatever we're doing with new technology, we're keeping it in its proper place. And we're not creating alternate realities that we can feel healthy and comfortable in. And then as soon as we leave our house, we're having to pop pills because we're so anxious and depressed and we experience such negative emotion, we can't interact with real people anymore. We have to find a balance and make sure that we're doing everything in proportion. Hopefully the price point is going to stop that for a while. I don't see a lot of people running out to spend $3,500 on this. Hopefully it won't sell right now, and we'll have some time to adapt to it. But an amazing leap forward in technology. If you haven't seen it, you can go online, look at the Apple worldwide event from 2023, and you'll see it there at the end. It's amazing, but also has the potential of being very, very dangerous for us, and we have to make sure that we're watching out for that, doing everything in its appropriate place and in good proportion, and we do that each and every day. Amen.